Formations. This is the attribute of Hebrew where the words get their meaning from the combined meaning of the letters, and the letters get their meaning from the combined meaning of the strokes. And so this is just a teaser to introduce you to the concept. So you can see here the first yod is the first thought of creation. So if the blank page represents God, then and it does that because when we touch something, we destroy it, we ruin it, and so the untouched page represents God. This is his first thought of creation. It's like the Big Bang. It contains everything that can be thought, said, or done because it is used to create every letter. Every letter springs from this yod, and every word uses letters, and every thought, word, and uses letters, and those words created everything. So it's like the Big Bang. It also includes, though, the personality of God. Okay. But I put here the thought of creation. So if we extend that, now it is the thought which has become a word. When he opens up the void within himself, then he speaks into that void. He says, "Let there be light." And that speaking into the void is the Vav. Notice it starts with a yod, it extends now into the empty space that God has created within himself to put everything. Now, every other letter is going to be formed using yods and vavs. So here is a thought, a word, and a thought, or uh, what we see is that there are two things that are the same and one that's a little bit different. Okay, the thing that you should have in your mind now is looking for a pattern. God says that the Father and the Son are one. And so here we have the Father and the Son who are creators, and they are divided by one, which would be the Holy Spirit holding them together. And this would be pronounced EUE. It sounds like Yahweh. Okay, we can see that the EUE is hidden inside of the Aleph. There's a Yod, a Vav, and a Yod. EUE inside the Aleph. The Aleph is a silent letter, and therefore you don't pronounce it, and so you never say EUE. Okay, this is the name of God before creation that nobody can pronounce because it's a silent letter. Yeah, he did not tell us not to say Yahweh. In fact, he told Moses to call him Yahweh. So it's silly to make that into some sort of a law or a rule that you can't say his name. This is the name that can't be said, not by way of rule, but by way of the attribute that it's a silent letter. And so it's a Yue. Now let's go to another letter. This is the Dalet. Things across the top represent those things which can be known about God. They come down to man on the right side, meaning in love, and there's a right angle to it, which means that it's like a bent reed, a broken reed. Not everything in the reed can go through. So this is a limited revelation, and we use the word commandment as a technical term. So when God said, "Let there be light," that would be a commandment because it just happened. There was light. There was no discussion. The nature obeyed his word. Okay. The commandment, there's no discussion with. A revelation, you can discuss with, and that would have a curved angle on this. Okay. It would be a rounded angle. But here we see the commandment that's not understood. So there's the dalet coming down and then a little one coming back, but it doesn't come all the way back up to God because it's not understood. Okay, that's the hey, and that represents those things that are not understood. It makes words gender female, and the female is the one who was deceived, did not understand. It's the female who learns from her husband. Those are all wrapped up in that hey. And then here's the het, which is the dalet, but now it fully understands. And this means to understand. Okay. Now, here is one that is the flesh. It has a son of God, or son of man, and a son of God joined, and it's being pulled away from the point of the cross. And we'll just say for now, we'll get into this more detail later, but this represents the flesh. So now, if I have a EUE at the beginning of a word, it means Jehovah. Okay, and that's what we said it meant was the Trinity of God. Okay, Jehovah is represented in the Trinity. Okay, so if I say EUE da, okay, it is the word for Jehovah knows. Jehovah knows. If I say I da, okay, what's this? It's an alternate to Jehovah, EUE. EUE knows. And so who is Jehovah? He is the I am. This means I know. Okay, so that's kind of the way this all builds up now into words. Now, um, let's see. And here now is the word for Yahweh, and that's the one that we are allowed to pronounce and can pronounce. And what we have is his thought is not understood, his word is not understood. So this is represented also said again in a different way when God says, my thoughts are not your thoughts and my ways are not your ways. So that's wrapped up right in his name, Yahweh. So thanks.